This is my 1972 Chevatsun 580Z Spyder. Chevatsun, you ask? What's that? Well, it's not really a thing. This started life as a 240Z, and it's been modified quite a bit. Well, let me get it outside and show you what it's all about. All right, let's take a closer look at this bad boy. She started life as a 240Z, with the most obvious modifications being the removal of the top and the addition of the American muscle. Modifications were purposefully subtle and made not to be noticed. Hot Wheels were the toys we could afford as kids, and I dreamed of having one I could drive when I grew up. The thought was that this could be it. I always preferred the Hot Wheels that looked less abstract and more like a car you might see on the road, so while we could have added huge spoilers, giant fender flares, and rocket launchers, or made another Mach 5, it was important to me to make it look factory-made. The 70s muscle was the right choice for the 70s body, so we rebuilt the all-cast-iron 350 Chevy ourselves. It was bored 40 over, with all forged internals, high-compression pistons, and a very long-duration cam. A 280Z hood was fitted with a stock vents to let her breathe, and a factory look under the hood was what we desired. It also helped keep things affordable. Nothing too fancy. No shiny serpentine pulleys or modern aftermarket flash. A manual transmission would have been preferred, but it wasn't in the budget, so we opted for a 700R4, which we tuned to snap heads in second. A B&M shift knob gave the appearance of a manual to reduce ridicule at car shows, and we shoved as much tire under the rear as humanly possible without tubbing or flaring the fenders. Again, it was important to us to build the car so that people would think it was stock, and it's fooled quite a few. Progressive lowering springs gave it the right stance. The Panasport rims were chosen as an affordable and obvious choice given the era of the car, and the original hatchback was used to create the trunk. We also fabricated a custom and very subtle spoiler that we integrated into the trunk lid and rear fenders to complement the front valance. Marker lights were shaved and the bumpers were shaved and tucked. And a stereo was added with speakers large enough for others to know what kind of music I like. Recently, I was honored to have my car filmed for Jay Leno's YouTube channel, and I was very pleased to hear Jay Leno say that you'd think it was a factory conversion and that this is the car Nissan should have built. I believe the Chevatsun 580Z represents the best of what an average builder can do on a very tight budget in a side yard with the help of family and friends. It's not perfect, and in fact, it is still a work in progress, but Ferrari owners gawk at it, which makes me smile as I've less money in it than you'd pay for a used Toyota Yaris. It was modified to look as though no modifications were done, to look stock, and it certainly does that. Even experienced car show enthusiasts will say, "I didn't know Datsun made a convertible Z." And that was important to me. I always thought the coolest Hot Wheels were the ones that looked real to me, the ones I could imagine driving, owning one day. In addition, Hot Wheels was conceived in 1968 by an innovator, a rocket scientist, and a car designer. I was born in 1968, am a rocket scientist, innovator, and I'd like to think a backyard car designer. Hot Wheels were the toys we could afford growing up, and I dreamed of having one I could drive. The Chevatsun 580Z Spyder is the car an average car gal or guy could build themselves, and most importantly, it is my real-life Hot Wheels car my dad, brother, and I built together.
Wow.
Well, all right. So it looks good, but does it burn rubber?